Good evening and welcome to 365 Days of Amazing Stories with Theo Mayer. Here we are on day 242, and I still have to finish that story about the youth who wanted to know what it was to feel fear. Now, as you might remember, he had gone off from his father's home, actually been sent away by his father. Quite a, not very respectful way. And he'd end up in this one tavern near a kingdom ruled by a king. And he had all along the way been telling people that if he could only learn to shudder, he felt that he would do well in his life and be very successful and fulfilled. Well, anyway, the tavern keeper, you might remember, had told him that, all he needed to do was stay 3 nights in this one castle, and he would certainly learn to shudder. Now, the youth had become very interested in this proposition, and the tavern keeper's wife had come in and tried to stop the youth from pursuing this goal, because every other young man that had lost his life. The kingdom that was ruled by the king had been cursed, and the castle, which was this beautiful castle, had been cursed in such a way that no one could inhabit it. And if they did try to, horrendous things would happen to them. Well, the youth, he asked that tavern keeper to tell him all about the situation. The tavern keeper told him. The next day, the youth was off to the castle to meet with the king and offer himself as the one man who could free the castle from enchantment. Now, the king had promised forever for whomever could free the castle from enchantment, from the curse, he'd offered his daughter, this beautiful princess, as the man's wife, of course. And so the youth, he was most concerned about learning to shudder, but he thought, the beautiful woman thrown into the bargain, certainly. This is a good situation. So he went to the king and offered himself. And the king asked him what he needed, that he would offer the young man 3 things that he could take with him into the castle. And the youth said, I would like fire, a turning lathe, and the knife to go with the turning lathe. The king said, certainly, this will be done. And the next day, which was the day that would precede the first night that the youth would have to stay in the castle, all these things were gathered together. Of course, it wasn't much. And the youth was led to the castle in the early evening. He had the lathe set up in a room where there was a fireplace, and he had fire brought in and put into the fireplace with enough wood to make it through the night. And he sat down. Now, 3 nights he would have to endure whatever went on in the castle. And I will tell you, as you might guess, that horrendous things did happen. On the first night, animals appeared and started playing cards, and then started to, show their claws to the youth, threatening him, teeth and claws. Now, I guess the youth dispatched all of them to where they needed to go, and ended up laying down on a bed that was there in the room. And well, the bed supposedly made its way through the castle as if drawn by horses until it crashed against a wall. The youth was fine and had to extract himself from under the blankets and the pillows and the mattress and the wood that had all broken. But the next morning, the king found him asleep there by his fire. And hopefully we can finish this story up tomorrow.